Good afternoon, everybody. It is Melissa Johnson speaking, and welcome to vlog number 13 of the 90-day vlog challenge. I am, of course, the principal psychologist and the director of Thriving Mind Psychology Clinic, located here on the beautiful Sunshine Coast. Just realised I forgot to shut the windows to the house, so I'm probably going to hear the kids in the background. So welcome, and I hope you've all had a lovely week. It is Friday, of course, and planning to have a lovely weekend. Today the vlog is essentially about how to access psychological services. I've decided to do this in a two-part series, so there's quite a few different referral pathways, and I'm actually only going to discuss a few, so I'm going to do those over the next 2 days. There's not too much of an information overload. Of course, can be quite overwhelming when we are thinking about seeing a psychologist or not sure how to access a psychologist, so I'm hoping that this will help outline some of the different ways that you might be able to, or what you might be able to access to see a psychologist. So, probably one of the biggest questions that we are asked is, do I need a referral? And basically the answer is no, you do not need a referral. Anybody can access a psychologist at any time. And if you don't use a referral, that means that you would be coming as a private patient or a private client. And that means you can come however often you would like and for as long as you like. So definitely you do not need a referral to see a psychologist. You can just find your local psychologist, have a look at some different websites or Facebook pages and see who you think you might like, find out what they specialise in. Of course, ring around, ask some questions, and once you've decided on a psychologist, you're more than welcome to see them as a private client. The other way that you can access a psychologist is actually probably one of the most common ways. Sorry, I'm not being very still today with my selfie stick, am I? I'm standing up instead of sitting down, so it's a little bit wobbly. Probably one of the most common ways we see clients is what is called a mental health care plan. And basically this is done by a GP or a psychiatrist. So this is when you actually can get a referral by your GP or a psychiatrist to a psychologist. And this could be quite beneficial for a number of different people. And how this works is you would go and see your psychologist or your psychiatrist, or your GP, and you would talk to them about what's going on for you and that you think that you might like to see a psychologist. Or in some cases, a GP might actually recommend that you see a psychologist. And your GP will then go through and ensure that you meet a certain criteria to make you eligible to receive a mental health care plan. And they will talk to you about, what your goals of treatment are, what you would like to achieve, and they'll talk to you about the different options of the different psychologists in the area that they might recommend. And you can sort of work together with your GP to making a decision on who you'd like to go and see. Once you've done that, your GP will continue to fill out the care plan and they'll fax that off or give it to you to go and then ring that psychologist to make the appointment. So essentially, a mental health care plan is actually a Medicare funded scheme. So what that means is Medicare acknowledged that mental health is really quite important, and because of that they decided to contribute towards your mental health care. So it's just they just contribute towards some of the fee. So what that means is it is not free. You will still have an out-of-pocket expense, but they will give you a rebate so that you're not paying the full fee. So that is certainly an advantage of having a mental health care plan. It means that you would receive your psychological services at a Medicare rebated price, or you would receive a rebate and therefore your out-of-pocket expense would be a lot less. Now that out-of-pocket expense will differ depending on a psychologist and depending on whether how much they charge and what their qualifications are. And it's up to each psychologist to base or to set their own fees. So it's a good idea to have a ring around and ask what their fees are and ask what their special interests are and how they can help you. So that is two ways you can access a psychologist, and probably the two main ways. So privately, you do not need a referral, you can just ring up and make an appointment, or through a mental health care plan, which is a GP or a psychiatrist referral. I hope you have enjoyed this today. I hope you've all got some wonderful plans for the weekend. I've got some exciting plans for Sunday, but I'm not going to tell you what they are yet. I will tell you that on Sunday morning probably. And that is it for me today. Thank you all. I hope you have enjoyed. Please, of course, like or love if you have. And if you have any requests or any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Or if you would prefer, you can email me or you can send me a message on Messenger. Good evening. And as always, don't forget that there's never been a better day than today to take the steps to have your thriving mind and your thriving life. Bye for now.